What is going on, everybody? Zyonik here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about Zekrom, as this is going to be the new legendary Pokemon coming to raids in Pokemon Go. We're going to be talking about the best raid counters for you guys, give you guys an amazing infograph, and then we're going to dive into why it's going to be so solid in the Master League for Go Battle League. Hold the phone, Pokemon Go Fest tickets are now live and for sale in the in-game store. You guys just need to head over to the shop in the in-game store, get yourself the Go Fest tickets. We're going to talk all about that real quick, and then we're going to get into the Zekrom Raid and PvP guide. Now, Go Fest 2020 is going to be a whole new experience. It's no longer going to be at a specific place in the world like it was at Chicago or Dortmund or in Japan last year, but instead it'll be a feature gameplay from your own home. So wherever you're at in the world, you guys can participate. Now, I'm going to put a link down in the description about this article from Niantic so you guys can go check that out for yourselves. But Go Fest is going to be happening on Saturday, July 25th from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, Go Fest is going to be a 2-day event, and if you buy the ticket, you can participate on both days, and there's also going to be a lot of stuff for everyone who decides not to buy a ticket as well. So basically, from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. both days, trainers will have access to special research they can do on day one, 5 rotating habitats. So this is how they're going to work. Before, at Go Fest, you'd walk around to different places, and the habitats would be unique there, so you could farm those Pokemon that you wanted. Maybe you wanted that shiny Sableye, or you wanted the shiny Shelder. Well, that's how they're going to do it this time. It's going to be rotating habitats so you guys can farm the Pokemon. Trainers will be able to work together as well on global challenges to unlock special bonuses during that specific hour, and they show an example down here where maybe for the first hour you need to send a total of 100,000 gifts from Team Instinct or Team Valor to unlock that special bonus. The 5 habitats that we will see will be Fire, Water, Grass, Battle, and Friendship, which is going to be really interesting. I'm not sure how they're going to do the Friendship one. The Battle one we could see, which is what we're interested here, as my channel's all about PvP. We could see a lot of very good Pokemon Go PvP Pokemon spawning. Maybe those Shieldodons, right? Or Merrills, for example, for the Great League. There could be a lot of great options. They are also saying there will be over 75 species of Pokemon in the wild in raids and by completing special research tasks. So a lot of variety and a lot of opportunity to get amazing shinies that you may not have already. Now, on day 2, Sunday, July 26th, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. again, trainers will enjoy something very different. Now, they aren't going to spoil it. They're going to hold off telling us what is going to happen, but this is only for ticket holders. Now, they also say they're working on a Pokemon Go Fest microsite, which will bring some of our favorite event activities to trainers around the world, just like the Team Lounge's in-person Go Fest. The site will give players a chance to take a break from catching Pokemon and interact with other trainers, participate in fun giveaways, and get event updates. Stay tuned for more details. So I'm going to be curious what that is, as if you've been to Go Fest before, there would be team lounges that you can go to, and they'd have fun giveaways where whoever had the most Pidgeys caught would get a free t-shirt, and for example. So I'm not sure what they mean by that, if this is going to be in-person micro events or if this is going to be spots in the game that you can go to and there's going to be a new interactive system that way. Not too sure. More information to come. Now, if you're wondering how to purchase your ticket, like I said before, you go to the in-game shop. It's going to be $14.99 plus fees and taxes, all depending on your local currency as well. So that'll fluctuate based on how much your currency is at. Now, also, they're going to have lead-up events coming up to the 2020 Go Fest. This will be 3 weeks of timed research events where trainers, ourselves, can unlock additional Pokemon appearances during Go Fest. So maybe that first week they give us a really unique shiny that if we complete that research, we unlock that for ourselves for that Go Fest event, which is going to be really cool. So be sure to stay in touch with more information for those 3 events. So Niantic will be donating proceeds from Go Fest ticket sales, committing a minimum of $5 million. The proceeds will be donated to new projects from Black gaming and AR creators that can live on the Niantic platform, with the goal of increasing content that represents a more diverse view of the world. The other half will go to U.S. nonprofit organizations that are helping local communities rebuild. That is awesome to see from a great company, Niantic. Thank you for supporting local communities and diversity. So now that we've talked a little bit about the Go Fest, links again down in the description of the video. Let's go ahead and jump back into the Zekrom Raid guide. Alright, so coming in with the infograph, this is from PokeBattler.com, so be sure to go check them out. Link down in the description. But Zekrom is an electric dragon typing, so it's going to be very weak to ground, ice, dragon, and fairy. So depending on what moveset Zekrom is bringing to the raid, maybe it's bringing that wild charge as the charge move, you can bring those ground type Pokemon to resist while also doing super effective damage. So there's going to be linked down in the description to this graphic. The best counters are definitely going to be those dragons, but again, you could go with the resistances with that ground if it has the electric type moves. You guys are looking for a more in-depth raid guide, right? The nitty-gritty, what's going to be the best Pokemon, best team comp, and strategies to maybe two-person this for speed times and everything. There's going to be a great video popping up right here. It is made by PokeBattler and FLW Videos. I'm sure if you are a hardcore raider, you are aware of these amazing videos that they make. If not, be sure to go check that out. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on PokeBattler because they do a lot of work for the community here, providing great infographics and a great website to help you out in Pokemon Go. So let's go ahead and now talk about why it's going to be amazing in the Master League and what teams you guys can build around a Zekrom. Alright, so heading into pvpoke.com, if you guys are unaware of this website, it is fantastic for Pokemon Go PvP and will definitely help you get better for Go Battle League. So let's go ahead and check out the rankings, shall we? This gives a rankings based on mass simulations of the Pokemon against the meta, basically. So in the Master League, we knew from Season 1 that Giratinas were amazing, Dialga was amazing, but Zekrom has now risen to number 2. Giratina Altered is 1, Groudon with that Fire Punch is 3, and Dialga dropped down to number 7, which is huge. So Zekrom is here. It is fantastic. It has a great typing. It has great charge moves. Some of the big things that it can beat straight up in the one shield situation is going to be Melmetal, Giratina Origin, Kyogre, Metagross, and Palkia, all of which will be very common in the meta, but it really needs to watch out for those ground type moves because of the electric typing, and it also has to watch out for Charm, so Togekiss, Gardevoir, Pokemon like that. When it comes to Zekrom's moveset, Dragon Breath as a fast move is always fantastic. You guys know how amazing that is. It does have Charge Beam as well, which is an underwhelming fast move for electric types. We'd rather see Volt Switch or Thunder Shock if we could, but we don't have that. There's Charge Beam, so we definitely want to be going with Dragon Breath as a fast move. As for charge moves, we have Wild Charge, Crunch, Outrage, and Flash Cannon. These are all very versatile and very usable in the Master League meta. Wild Charge will help pick up Pokemon like Kyogre and Togekiss as well because of that flying typing. Crunch will help pick up a lot of those psychics, so Pokemon like Metagross and Mewtwo. Outrage, again, amazing against dragons, heavy neutral across the meta except for the fairies and steels. And then Flash Cannon could surprise a lot of fairies if you're utilizing Zekrom on the safe switch. They may not be ready for a Flash Cannon, which would be doing super effective damage. So how you build your Zekrom is going to be how it plays into your team building. Like we said earlier, it is a dragon electric typing, so the weaknesses are going to be Dragon, Fairy, Ground, and Ice, which are all very common in the Master League meta, but it can be overcome with this fantastic moveset and its bulk. So let's go ahead and talk about why it's going to be good and some team building. Alright, so we're taking a look at Zekrom against the whole of the Master League. This is a mass simulation, and overall it has an 84% win rate. This is pretty huge considering that the Master League is dominated by a lot of those legendaries, so Zekrom being a legendary itself is going to come in and absolutely destroy. Like we said earlier, Charm is going to be destroying, which is why we see Togekiss and Gardevoir as these top counters. Groudon as well. Ice type moves, so Articuno and Lapras. Swampert as well, if it can land an Earthquake, that's going to be huge. Dialga is going to be pretty solid against it as well, just because of its typing. It's going to be taking neutral instead of super effective from the Dragon Breaths. Mewtwo is going to be pretty solid, and Giratina Alter. So those are the things you really need to look out for. But overall, it can cover a lot of the other maybe unique Pokemon that we'll see or versatile Pokemon in the Master League, but you definitely need to build a strong team around it to cover those Charmers. Now heading over to the Team Builder, if you guys were unaware of this feature, it is the Team Builder here on PvPoke. This will help you build teams for Go Battle League utilizing the Pokemon that you have access to. It's a fantastic feature. Highly recommend you guys use this. Now when it comes to the moveset of Zekrom, like I said, how you guys build this will determine what coverages you have, and a lot of people may be unprepared for the charge moves that come from it. Now I definitely think Wild Charge is probably going to be the staple on it, but the second charge move can be versatile versatile. You can go for Outrage for just heavy neutral damage across the meta, plus doing super effective to dragons. You can go for the Flash Cannon to surprise some of those fairies. You can go for the Crunch for some extra psychic coverage on Pokemon like Metagross and Mewtwo. So how you build it will determine what you use. So let's say we go with the Outrage, right? We definitely want to have those heavy neutral damage and then surprise Dialgas that would be taking us out. So overall, it's got some good coverage against the top metas. It's going to be losing. This is all within the one shield situation. It's going to be losing to the Giratina Altered in the Zekrom Mirror, who has a Crunch. And then Groudon, Togekiss, and Dialga as well. Those are the big ones, but we can provide some great coverage to that. So what we can do is if we scroll down, it's going to be giving us suggestions as the best coverage to our team. They show you like, okay, so Glaceon is looking to be the #1 here, which is really surprising because Glaceon wasn't used too much in Season 1 or preseason, but I think it's going to start to rise here in the meta because we're going to see a lot more dragons, I think, with the fact that Groudon as well is going to be taking super effective damage and has access to Icy Wind, which is pretty solid. So if we add Glaceon in there, we'll have to see how this plays out here. So overall, the score pretty good. Got some great coverages. Again, against Groudon, we have to watch out for that Fire Punch, which will be doing super effective damage, but it's not Stab. On top of that, Ice Shard and Icy Wind is going to absolutely destroy. So this could be a good cover. Let's say we're leading with Zekrom. Glaceon could be a good cover because if they decide to bring in a Togekiss or they decide to bring in a Giratina, we can then bring in the Glaceon, farm down, and fire off an Icy Wind on the back end. Now, the team is still weak to the Zekrom with Crunch and is still weak to Dialga, which are going to be the two main Pokemon we are going to see. You could see Escavalier, you could see Latios, you could see a Heracross, but they're not going to be as common as a Dialga and Zekrom, so we definitely need to account for that. So the top counter for that is looking to be potentially Groudon right here. Again, Groudon with Fire Punch is going to be huge if you guys got that, or if you want to use an Elite Charge TM on your 100% powered up Groudon, it's going to be fantastic in the meta. I'd highly recommend getting this Pokemon as well. Mudshot as a fast move is very high energy gating. Fire Punch provides great coverage and shield baiting opportunities, and then Earthquake kind of covers the most of the meta, but you could still have Fire Blast or Solar Beam, but I would recommend keeping that Earthquake. So if we add that here, this team is looking pretty solid overall, right? The overall rating, coverage is A, bulk is B, safety is B, and consistency is A. This team can put out a lot of damage, has fantastic coverage on the meta, and can really handle some of those top meta Pokemon. And like I said, you can change Zekrom around with its moveset based on how you want to build your team, but this is just one example, and our biggest weakness is going to be a Heracross, right? We can't really handle a Heracross, but again, charge moves will still be doing quite a bit of damage, but I don't suspect that in open Master League, we will see a lot of Heracross when there's all these legendaries. Let's take a look at another team right here. So we've changed Zekrom to having Crunch to help pick up some of those psychics like Metagross and Mewtwo, which are going to be huge. And then we've kept Groudon on the team. We've also added Togekiss here. Overall, the coverage is A, bulk is A, safety is B, and consistency is A. It has a lot of great coverages on the meta. Togekiss, I think, is going to be huge given the rising meta of more dragons that we're going to see in Giratina and Zekrom. On top of that, Giratina, Origin, and Dialga will still be there. Togekiss can still handle those and go toe-to-toe. And then Melmetals, I think, are going to be handled very well with the Zekrom and Groudon, which is why we have that here. So this team could do pretty well. You could change the order. Maybe you lead with the Togekiss and then have Zekrom and Groudon in the back, which will still be great. Again, Zekrom ahead on energy is going to do really well because it can hit those hard-hitting moves on the meta, right? Crunch and Wild Charge. Neutral against a lot, super effective against quite a bit. So overall, I think Zekrom is going to be fantastic. I'd highly recommend that you guys raid a lot if you can, especially with the potential new raid with a friend feature where you guys can invite up to 5 friends, I believe. 5 friends in total, or 4 friends. We don't know when that's coming out. It could come out with Zekrom, but there has been no official news from Niantic when that feature is dropping. But I think it's going to be fantastic. And if you guys can get your hands on 100% IV Zekrom, get a lot of rare candy, get this thing ready for Master League for Season 2, or just hold on to it and then invest for Season 3, I think it's going to be strong for a long, long time because of its moveset. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Let me know down in the comments if this kind of quick guide, kind of forecast of how this Pokemon is going to be performing in the Master League helped out. I think it's going to be strong. I'm very looking forward to farming this Pokemon in raids, getting it ready for Master League. If I can get enough dust and candy for it, I think it's going to be a strong addition to my roster, and I will look to showcase it for you guys here on the channel when I do get it ready. So like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.